The island is a haven for wildlife and spectacular scenery, bringing visitors to the island all year long. In the days running up to the rally, the weather was almost perfect for enjoying this stunning part of Scotland. But Friday morning started damp and murky as the first of the cars arrived at the distillery for scrutineering, where all 160 cars were checked for safety and eligibility. So as daylight turned to darkness, we headed to the start ramp, where Boyd Tunnock was presenting Alec Kerr with his prize for winning the John Eason Scholarship, a free entry to the event.
Boyd, fantastic event to be involved with this Tunnock's Tour of Mull.
Yes, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I come here because I like Tobermory. I think it's great that having so many entries and have the youngsters in, and we hope that we get a new winner this time, but still it'll be great. And I think it's a great challenge, and it's really wonderful you can be able to shut the roads and let them have their way and go as they do. It'll be super.
And a nice tie-up for your company to sponsor the event.
Yeah, it's great. Oh yeah, certainly it helps us to keep the people happy and keep our name in front of the public.
The opening leg would start from the distillery in Tobermory, with a short drive to the opening stage, which would run over the Mishnish Locks and down to Devade. Stage 2 would head up over the hill road before the long drive down past Ulva, finishing at Killycronan. With the first car about to leave the start ramp, we caught up with some of the leading contenders.
Well, Neil, it's been all changed this week in the build-up.
Yeah, it has. We've got a new co-driver on board this year, Daniel Barrett. Mike State, who normally has done it for the last 19 years. It's been 20 years this year. He's been sitting beside me. He's had to pull out at the last minute, and Daniel stepped in. So it's a good chance to try notes with Daniel.
Evening, James. How are we?
Not too bad, thank you.
Let's set things first for the record straight. How do we pronounce your surname, sir?
McGilvery.
True Scottish name, and how have the preparations gone?
Yeah, I think we're all right. The car's a bit different to last year, so we're going to give it a go and see how against the rest, see how it goes.
What have you changed on it?
It's on ProFlex now. A few other changes at the front and the rear, so we're just going to have to try our best and see what happens.
Two absolute rogues chatting together here. How's the preparations been this year then, John?
Pretty much the same as usual, to be honest. No real problems. We had a good recce. Car seems alright, so yeah, can't wait to start.
Sends him away, the first car away.
So the first car off the ramp was the 2006 winner Neil McKinnon and his new navigator Daniel Barrett, who headed out into the darkness for the first of two long stages. They were instantly on the pace, stopping the clocks on 6 minutes 51 seconds for the 6.5 mile stage 1, and then 13 minutes 11 seconds on the 14.5 mile stage 2. Neil was certainly working the brakes hard, as they were clearly glowing here.
Okay, Neil McKinnon, how have those first two been?
We got not too bad. We had a wee problem at the start of the first stage, just getting the car off the line. We stalled, but I don't think we lost a lot of time with that. And then the second one was very slippy at the start, and it was tricky all the way down, but things went okay.
Second away in his Mitsubishi Evo 8, complete with a second-hand engine he had bought off eBay, it was Dougie Hall with Andy Richardson on the notes. We join them on stage 1. It was a cautious start for the Mitsubishi driver as he stopped the clocks 18 seconds slower than McKinnon on the opening stage. But once into stage 2, he looked to be into his stride as he set the second fastest time to the Subaru driver, but he was already 20 seconds behind the leader. Just about to leave the start ramp, it was the local favourite Callum Duffy, but his day had already been quite frantic, as he explained.
We started the car first thing this morning and it wasn't running well at all, and we got it through scrutineering, etc. And we tried management problems, everything, and what it ended up being was the pulley in the bottom of the crankshaft had spun the Woodruff key. So we searched the island looking for another pulley, and Ian McKenzie managed to get us one. So I've just put that on the car, and it's well, about half an hour ago it's been got going again, so hassle.
Just what you don't need in the build-up to a Mull rally.
Aye, well, I'd tested the car beforehand out in Ireland, it was perfect, you know, and just assumed it would turn up and drive basically, but it's never like that, is it?
And so Callum and his brother Ian, better known as Dell, headed off in the night. As they neared the end of the opening stage, everything seemed to be going well. Callum doesn't use full-pace notes for all the stages, so all we can hear from Dell is a few puffs and sighs from over the intercom. On to stage 2, and they were nearing the bottom of the hill road. It was another good run, and they stopped the clocks on 13 minutes, 37 seconds. But that was 26 seconds behind McKinnon.
Not so bad in the first one, we were doing okay. We've got a hard Dunlop in the back. The car's going fine after all the dramas, but 3 miles into the second stage there, I've come over a crest and it's obviously snapped something on the alternator side of things, so we don't have any charge. And it was missing a little bit in the engine and stuff like that, but it was a slippy stage anyway, so first stage was fine, second stage not so good.
Fourth on the ramp, it was North Manchester's John Cope, with his new navigator Rob Fagg from the Isle of Man. So could this new pairing challenge for that top spot, which has so far eluded John? They stopped the clocks on the opening stage in 4th, but will join them for the start of stage 2 as they climb up the hill road.
50, straight on crest 50, right 2 at post, 50, left 1 on jump into caution yump dip, and double caution, left 2 over crest away, 50.
Partway through the stage and everything looked to be in control. But when we caught up with John after the stage, it hadn't been a problem-free run.
Very, very slippy. Didn't drive the first stage at all well, I didn't think, because like I say, it was slippy. And second stage got into it a little bit better, I think. But overall, I think we were very lucky to stay on the road in places, to be honest. Got a puncture towards the end of the second one as well, so not a very good start, but we're still here, so it's the important thing.
Our sponsor is going to send away shortly.
5th off the ramp in the car he first used in 2002, Paul Kirtley certainly looked relaxed in his Subaru WRC.
And of course, into flat right, left over drop, and lock K right. K left. And easy right, 30 caution, long sweeping K right. Boy, is this tight, remember. And hairpin left.
They were 5th fastest on the opening stage, just 11 seconds behind McKinnon, and were still looking good here on stage 2, despite Paul's admission to a few errors. 6th away, but making a steady start, it was James McGilvery and Ian Fraser in their superb Mark II Escort, now sporting the ProFlex suspension. It was handling the bumps and jumps even better than previous years. They would stop the clocks 8th fastest on both the opening stage and here on stage 2. For Tony Bardi, the Hyundai looked to be quite a handful. And when we caught up with him after the opening 2 stages, we asked him how things had gone.
Not good enough. I was almost passed on the second one by, I don't know, I think it's Paul McKinnon actually. Came having a bit of a shout, so, but I didn't see him, so. Not good enough.
Something you can do something about?
Yeah, lose 20 a year, I think.
Over from Ireland.
A superb opening stage for the Irishman Dennis Biggerstaff, 6th fastest overall. But when we caught up with his navigator Graham Thompson after stage 2, there was bad news.
Yeah, but the clean run through the first stage, a little bit quicker actually than last year. Halfway through the second stage, gearbox problems. We had some problems with the car prior to coming here. Looks like the same things happened again. We're now jammed in 5th gear, so off to service now. Hopefully we can get it rectified.
You'll get it back to service?
Hopefully, yeah.
Once into the service area, the mechanics leapt into action, changing the paddle shift gearbox for a manual version. But with just 25 minutes to complete the job, it would be a superb effort by the team to get him back on his way without dropping any time. Making the biggest impression at this early stage in the rally, it was Paul McKinnon. Joined 2nd on the opening stage and 4th on stage 2, he was up to 3rd overall.
New Peugeot 308 HDI diesel with CO2 emissions from 120 grams per kilometre. Peugeot, the drive of your life.
Fruity, tooty, now my jeans fit my booty. Gooey, heaven, yummy food 24/7. Tick, tock, smoothies and shakes, totally rock, walkie, tall. I like that mirror on the wall. Funky, monkey, give me a chocolate bar that's chunky. Oi, boy, losing weight I can enjoy. Slim happy all the way, slim fast.
Without this woman, my father couldn't have had his hip replaced.
This man helped my baby's son overcome a serious bowel condition.
Without this man, I would have died from a ruptured spleen.
Your local blood bank is short of regular donors. Please visit blood.co.uk and do something amazing. Give blood.
It's sale time in the world of Sony, in-store at Sony Centres and online at Sony Style. No one can help you more than our specialist staff, plus we can offer a delivery and installation service. You'll find great value across the range. Save £100 on this exclusive 32-inch Bravia with the phenomenal live colour creation, only $599. Or save £100 on this stunning Vio laptop, now only $449. The sale's now on at your local Sony Centre and online at Sony Style. There's nowhere better for Sony.
With unlimited access to 1 million songs from Vodafone, you'll always find the right one.
As soon as I wake up, any night, any day, I know that it's you I need to take the blues away. It must be love, 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 nothing more.
Vodafone, make the most of now.
weeks since I've stopped.
I've really cut down. I know I'll quit soon.
It's helped me quit, and it gives my hands something to do. I'm not quite there yet.
I find they ease my cravings fast.
Nicorette understand that every smoker is different. That's why we have the widest range of support. For every cigarette, there's a Nicorette.
These people are happy. Happy they've chosen Ford to complement their busy, modern lifestyles, giving them the luxury, performance and sense of style they demand. Be the envy of your friends and neighbours when you watch the Ford season.
Continuing with Ford Fiesta from birth to boy racer Monday at 8 on Man and Motors.
The rally now moves southwest for the two traditional short stages of Arton, where, with his new gearbox fitted, it was Dennis Biggerstaff who set the pace. But two second fastest times for Dougie Hall would move him up the leaderboard into second. So we'll join him on board for a quick ride. Also enjoying a great run through here, it was Paul Kirtley, and he moved up into 5th overall.
Free flight. Yeah, okay. Round.
Two great runs through for John Cope and Rob Fagg, and despite collecting a puncture towards the end of the stage, they dropped just 6 seconds to Paul McKinnon.
50, straight at gate 50, caution deceptive left 5. Into right 2, flat left, right 1, don't cut.
Here's where they collected
50.
that puncture.
Straight on crest damp, caution immediate left 9, tight.
Unfortunately, stage 3 would claim its first of the top runners. And whilst the Duffys would complete the stage, those earlier electrical gremlins could not be cured. And so, another long road section would take the crews into the final loop of the night, where competitors now faced 4 more stages. Once again, Neil McKinnon continued to dominate, setting 3 out of 4 top times, to end the night with a relatively comfy 54-second lead. But all eyes were on another McKinnon. Paul was clawing back time to his father, and when he stopped the clocks 3 seconds quicker on stage 6, it looked like he could actually start to threaten. But then on stage 7, he had actually double punctured, leaving him no choice but to stop and change at least one wheel. And this was costing him valuable time. With one wheel changed, he was back on his way, but he had dropped from 2nd to 15th. Finishing the night in 2nd overall, it had been a good evening's work for Dougie Hall and Andy Richardson in the Mitsubishi. Never out of the top 3 times since the opening stage, it had been a flawless performance.
Over crested post. And long left one.
It had not been such an easy job for John Cope, with several punctures hampering his progress. But the fight back king always relishes the challenge, and daylight could be a different story. He would end the night in 3rd. Paul Kirtley and Jim Kidson were having a brilliant opening leg, setting regular top 5 times. But on stage 7, Calgary Bay, Paul was about to make a mistake.
Right, maybe. And medium left, rail 2, medium right. Whoa! Whoa! Into K left. Hold it, Paul. Good lad. Well done. Brilliant.
But navigator Jim Kitson hardly noticed. They would end the night 4th overall.
Flat right.
A superb 5th overall at the end of the leg, Daniel Harper was driving the Mini right on the edge. But his stage times were truly fantastic, as he was never more than 30 seconds slower than the full works spec Subaru of McKinnon. Harper certainly knows the roads, but could the Mini survive another day and night of this continual punishment? A change of tyres for James McGilvery and the Escort seemed to have done the trick, as he was now setting into a good pace and enjoying a very close battle with the Mini of Harper. James would end the leg just 12 seconds adrift of the Mini.
100 over big jump at post on the right.
John and Paula Swinsko in their Mitsubishi Evo 9 also seemed to have settled into the pace. The Lancer seemed to be taking the jumps extremely well. They would end the night in 7th, 29 seconds behind McGilvery and 37 seconds ahead of 8th placed Tristan Pye. Pye was guided by Kirsty Riddock in their Impreza, and they had been quietly working their way up the leaderboard. Tony Bardi still seemed to be struggling with the Hyundai, yet he was still inside the top 10, but only just. He would end the night in 9th. Having started at number 24, John Cressy, in the second of the Mini Sport BMW Mini Cooper S, was steadily climbing up the leaderboard. As he started stage 5, he was in 14th place. But 4 stages later, he was 4 places higher, and the Minis were looking strong. Dennis Biggerstaff was still having gear change problems, but by the end of stage 7, he had climbed up to 8th overall, only for the car to jam in gear a second time on the final stage, where he took a maximum. Willie Bonnywell was in a Subaru, but he had punctured, and then he had a big spin, dropping him even more time. Confirmation of the result at the end of the leg, and it was McKinnon from Hall, Cope, Kirtley, Harper, McGilvery, Swinsko, Pye, Bardi and Cressy rounding out the top 10.
Your night was, well, it went really well. You can't ask for more than a minute's lead, can you, after the opening night?
No, things have gone not too bad. We're quite happy with the way we're going. We took a wee bit of learning, you know, with having Daniel here, but quite enjoying it.
Those pace notes are gelling well now, are they?
Yeah, certainly. I would say the last 2 stages we drove well. You know, we're starting to get into the swing of things with the car and him, and we're quite happy now.
A bit for all last night, to be honest. We ended up having 3 punches last night. Got the first one at the end of the second stage for about 2 miles, which wasn't too bad. But then we got 2 punches simultaneously in Ardton on the second run through Ardton. Somebody pulled a rock out and we hit those, so that went against us. And also we've had a problem with the hydraulic seal in the gearbox. That blew last night, and we ended up running 6 stages with hydraulic pressure in the gearbox. So it was a handful last night.
Top 5 then after the first night, Daniel. That's a fair night's work.
Yeah, reasonable night. That bit of a surprise really, but we just kept it going. Just wanted to get to the end of the first night, which is the first time for quite a few years now. But yeah, it was good.
No major problems?
No, just I think everybody had the same problem. It was just very damp, slippy, a bit frightening 1 or 2 times, but no, nothing major.
Top 10 then after the first night. Really good night's work, John.
Yeah, really good. Just tried to take it nice and easy, frightened myself a few times, spun it twice, but, you know, we're here.
Finally getting to grips with this mighty Mini.
Yeah, I think so. Bonny piece of kit. Really good. It is.
And all set for a big push this afternoon?
I'll tell you tonight. I'm not sure about that. We'll see what the weather does first.
The Saturday afternoon leg comprised of just 6 stages, but with just 1 short service halt, there was little time for repairs. Stage 9 would start proceedings before a drive over the hill road to stages 10 and 11, which would run round Calgary Bay before the run over Mishnish Locks into service, and then the 2 final stages around Loch Nakeal. So we'll pick up the action on the opening stage, where Neil McKinnon once again set the pace, stopping the clocks 13 seconds quicker than any other crew. Again on Calgary Bay, he extended his lead by a further 22 seconds over the 2 runs, and he was now looking almost invincible. Dougie Hall was second away and was certainly keen to try and keep the gap to McKinnon as small as possible. In the daylight, you can certainly see just how narrow these roads really are. Dougie would set the second fastest time here on stage 9, but then on the first run through Calgary, he would drop over 30 seconds, but somehow he still held on to second overall. Daniel Harper was extracting everything from his knowledge and experience and was pushing the Mini as hard as possible. 5th fastest on stage 9, he then went even better on Calgary to move up another place on the leaderboard and into 4th.
Left 1 and double caution Yump 100.
With his Subaru back to find Fettel, John Cope was immediately onto the pace once again. 4th fastest here on the opening stage.
Long left 1 on crest.
His first run on the Calgary stage would see him stop the clocks in second, just 18 seconds slower than McKinnon. But on his second attempt, he couldn't go any quicker, equaling his first run time. The stage was certainly keeping Robert Fagg busy, almost every other note being crest.
Long flat right and flat left on crest and straight on crest. Into flat left, into straight on crest, 75, tricky now, crest into flat left on crest, don't cut, caution dip and flat left at sign, mud.
James McGilvery was certainly enjoying the clear weather and drier roads and was pushing the Mark II Escort as hard as possible, and he certainly didn't lift too much over the jump. After the first 3 stages, he had moved up into 5th overall, and that was at the expense of Paul Kirtley. Despite a great opening stage of the day, where he set the 3rd fastest time. We'll join him on board on stage 10.
Mull double caution, left over drop 90 right. Into 90 left, 90 right. To hairpin left, downhill, 50. Try and keep the end.
And that is quite a way off the road. A spectator was soon on hand to check their escape route, and carefully they rejoined the stage, but they had lost over a minute.
The other cars. Bravo, Paul. Bravo. Tight K right.
Sorry, Jim. Sorry about that.
Bravo. 30.
Back at the front, John and Paul Swinsko were looking comfy in the overnight position of 7th, and as they came into view here, everything looked fine.
Right 2 over crest, stay right for left 6. Right 4, left 6, don't cut. Crest 100. Care, arm co right 8 over crest.
But suddenly, the car shot off the road.
Oh, no, 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 no! No, 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 no! Oh!
When we look at it again, it seems something may have broken on the rear of the car. Luckily, neither crew member were hurt, but the car would take some serious recovery.
Getting off cigarettes on your own is hard. Getting the right help can make it much easier. It's been proven that you're up to 4 times more likely to quit successfully with support from the NHS. There are lots of kinds of support available. Call this number now to find out which method will suit you best and for a free DVD on how to quit. For more information and your free DVD, call 0800 169 1697 now or visit www.nhs.uk/go-smoke-free. Get off cigarettes with NHS support.
Fruity, tooty, now my jeans fit my booty. Gooey, heaven, yummy food 24/7. Tick, tock, smoothies and shakes, totally rock. Walking, tall, I like that mirror on the wall. Funky, monkey, give me a chocolate bar that's chunky. Oi, boy, losing weight I can enjoy. Slim happy all the way, slim fast.
My mum's got a new cat full of stuff that does all the washing. She pulls it into a machine and it explodes like a ginormous firework.
Introducing new Persil Small and Mighty. 2 times concentrated to make it small. Packed with pre-treaters to make it mighty.
Dr. Robert Neville, 2012. I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I'm a survivor living in New York City. If anyone is out there, please, you are not alone. I am legend.
Compact, agile, yet tough. And officially the safest car for adults ever tested by Euro NCAP. Introducing the all-new Nissan Qashqai, the hatchback redefined.
It's sale time in the world of Sony, in-store at Sony Centres and online at Sony Style. No one can help you more than our specialist staff, plus we can offer a delivery and installation service. You'll find great value across the range. Save £100 on this exclusive 32-inch Bravia with the phenomenal live colour creation, only $599. Or save £100 on this stunning Vio laptop, now only $449. The sale's now on at your local Sony Centre and online at Sony Style. There's nowhere better for Sony.
On to stage 12, and Neil McKinnon was simply in a league of his own as he blasted through the 6.3-mile stage, smashing the previous record set by John Cope of 6 minutes 22 seconds by a full 9 seconds. But he arrived late for the start of the final stage and limped through to the finish. So would he reappear for the final leg? Dougie Hall was pushing on as hard as he could, knowing full well that just one problem for McKinnon could hand him the lead, and he wanted to keep the pressure on. But he couldn't even match the Subaru drivers' times, yet alone beat them. However, at the end of the leg, there was still a glimmer of hope. Cope was driving his Impreza faster than he had ever been before, and he shaved 3 seconds from his previous record on this stage.
Slippy maybe into hairpin right. And flat left. And long left 9 opens Armco. And right 2. And crest into right 4, don't cut. And left 4, 50, crest into right 9, don't cut, 50, right 2 okay, and flat right over crest, and flat left 50, caution.
But he couldn't keep this pace up for the final 2 stages, where he dropped more time to haul, and at the end of the leg, he was 2 minutes, 23 seconds down in 3rd. It was James McGilvray who made the biggest impression on these late afternoon stages, as he too set a personal best time here on the lock stage, stopping the clocks on 6 minutes 36. This also helped him move up the leaderboard once more, and he would end the leg in 4th. It was bad news again for Tony Bardi, when on stage 13, and just as he was starting to get to grips with the Hyundai, it ground to a halt with turbo failure, ending his challenge for another year. It was better news though for Paul Kirtley. Following his off on Calgary, he had now settled back into a fast but safe pace, and he would end the leg in 5th. The gap to 6th place, however, had really closed up, partially due to Kirtley's off, but also due to the fact that Daniel Harper was driving the Mini like a demon. At the end of the leg, just 20 seconds separated the pair. And less than 20 seconds behind Harper, the young and fearless Tristan Pye had been having a very good afternoon. Never out of the top 10 times, even setting a couple of top 5 times along the way. The bottom end of the top 10 were also having their own battle, as less than 25 seconds separated 8th from 10th. And that was Cressy in the Mini, Bonniwell in the Subaru, and Miller also in a Subaru. The class battles were also beginning to hot up, none more so than in Class C, where it was Tuggs Sherrington in his Mark II Escort doing battle with the Mark I Escort of Chris Haig. And whilst the Mark II had the advantage, the Mark I was closing in. Just 39 seconds separated the pair going into the final leg. Just 1 place behind this battle, it was the Mull novices, Chris Hall and Elia Flynn. They had a relatively comfortable class lead from George MacDonald in the Corsa, who had been having a few scary moments along the way. Third in the class, and just 5 seconds behind the Corsa, it was Ian Chadwick in his Peugeot 106. Confirmation of the result at the end of leg 2. And whilst McKinnon's lead looked comfy, we still didn't know what his problems were, or if he would even take the restart. 2nd to 4th were evenly spaced, but 5th to 7th were still very close, as 2 were 8th to 10th. The final leg was about to get underway, and Neil McKinnon was at the main control.
Okay, here we are then, Neil, rally leader, about to head into the final night loop here, and that magical 12th victory within reach.
Well, we're here, and we've had a few wee problems this afternoon, so we'll just have to see. You know, we're not 100% confident.
Yeah, dropped some time going into the last stage of this afternoon. What was the problem?
We had a problem with the water system. She was overheating a bit, she airlocked, so hopefully that's all it's been. And they bled it when we came out, and she's driven up the road fine. So this will be the test, this first one.
Right, well, we wish you the best of luck. That magical 12 would be some achievement.
Yeah, it would be. But no, I've enjoyed the event so far, and Daniel's been really good, so quite a good time.
2007.
Right then, Dougie, about to go into the final night loop on the Tunnock's Mull Rally, and a solid afternoon's work, and we're hearing of possible problems in the McKinnon camp.
Oh, well, I thought he was parked up between Scruden and Gribben this afternoon, and he was going like this, so the job was up. There was a lot of steam coming out, but then he seemed to get it going again, so miracles happen.
Yeah, but it gives you hope, doesn't it, because he says they're not entirely sure they've got it right.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was. Do you know what the problem was, though?
Something water related.
Yeah, there's a lot of steam, a lot of water, but no, we'll just have to try and keep it solid, keep it in there and see what happens.
Does that mean you try a big push just in case he hits trouble?
We'll wait and see about that one. We'll wait till we start.
And you like the idea of rain?
I do if I've got the right tyres on.
Alright, thanks Dougie. Okay John, final night of the 2007 Tunnock's Tour of Mull. Another top 3 position going into the final night, but here's where it really starts, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a 22 miler. It's just started raining, and yeah, it's going to be difficult, that's for sure.
Good afternoon's work though.
Yeah, I drove well today. I was quite pleased with my driving today, and everything went well with the car. So yeah, fine.
And does the rain bother you?
Yeah, because it's that in between rain. It's not, it's only spitting. It's it's not putting a lot down on the ground, but it will have an effect. So you just don't know.
You relish this though, don't you? The final night of Mull every year. That's what you're here for.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, we're here to win. You know what? I think the likelihood is now that we won't get that close to them, but we'll have a go.
Well, we're hearing trouble potentially in the McKinnon camp. They've got water-related problems with the Impreza. They're not entirely sure they've got fixed. Dougie Hall's promising a big charge, so you're always there or thereabouts to benefit.
Well, this is it. Like I said, we'll be there to pounce, and that's the idea. We're going to go up the 22 miler as hard as we dare, and we'll see what we come at the end of it. And if we're close enough, then we'll carry on the fight. If we're not, we've got a 2-minute gap behind us, so we'll settle for third.
Getting off cigarettes on your own is hard. Getting the right help can make it much easier. It's been proven that you're up to 4 times more likely to quit successfully with support from the NHS. There are lots of kinds of support available. Call this number now to find out which method will suit you best, and for a free DVD on how to quit. For more information and your free DVD, call 0800 169 1697 now, or visit www.nhs.uk/go-smoke-free. Get off cigarettes with NHS support.
Agile, yet tough. And officially the safest car for adults ever tested by Euro NCAP. Introducing the all-new Nissan Qashqai. The hatchback redefined.
Wise old man say, if you're thinking of buying used car, you should check car history with Tax Check.
Beautifully, mate. Starts first time every time.
Tax Check sends you DVLA, police and accident history direct to your mobile.
83600.
Tax Check open can of Kung Fu on you. Text registration number to 83600. Text will cost £3 plus your standard network charge.
Getting digital TV, broadband, home phone, and mobile from separate places is exhausting. But call Virgin Media and get all four from the same place for only £40 a month. Saves running around.
Get it together for only £40 a month. Call Virgin Media now on 0800 052 6060.
Dr. Robert Neville, 2012. I am broadcasting on all AM frequencies. I'm a survivor living in New York City. If anyone is out there, please, you are not alone.
I am Legend.
It's sale time in the world of Sony, in-store at Sony Centres and online at Sony Style. No one can help you more than our specialist staff, plus we can offer a delivery and installation service. You'll find great value across the range. Save £100 on this exclusive 32-inch Bravia with the phenomenal live colour creation, only $599. Or save £100 on this stunning Vio laptop, now only $449. The sale's now on at your local Sony Centre and online at Sony Style. There's nowhere better for Sony.
So the crews now set off for the longest stage of the rally, which incorporated both Loch Tua and Calgary Bay into a 22-mile stage. Then it was another run over the Loch stage before the final service at Craignure, and then the final loop ending down the Glen Arros Road. Once again, it was Neil McKinnon who was first into the stage, where conditions were changeable, but it wasn't slowing the Subaru driver down. A minute later, and Dougie Hall set off into the stage. Dougie looked to be trying harder, but in fact, when we put the two together, you could see McKinnon was well ahead. Passing the caravan on the right, Dougie was still a way off. Here he is approaching the caravan. And that's a good 20 seconds behind already. Further into the stage, and McKinnon was just past the Toloisk junction at the bottom of the hill road. And see how cautious he is taking that right-hander. And now back with Dougie Hall. But he's going a lot quicker. And... oh no! That was a huge roll. Let's take another look. It really was an unlucky accident, brought on with the ever-changing levels of grip. Both Dougie and Andy Richardson were okay, but their rally was definitely over. Meanwhile, John Cope was also struggling in the changing conditions.
And caution, slippy now, long left 3, mud on exit, and right 3. And left 2, wet and slippy. And right 2, damp. 50, left 3, don't cut. And flat right.
The conditions were just getting worse all the time. And as James McGilvery was finding out, there was very little grip or traction. Unfortunately, Paul Kirtley, who was next on the road, also lost control. And with his car blocking the stage, the organisers had no other option than to stop the stage and then parade all the remaining cars through. McKinnon had set another fastest time, stopping the clocks on 21 minutes 25 seconds on this 22-mile stage. Not bad for a car running in safe mode. So on to stage 16, and it was John Cope who set the top time. But McKinnon was only a few seconds slower, and his advantage was now over 2.5 minutes. It was a slightly sombre mood as the crews headed into service. Paul Kirtley had been taken to hospital as a precaution, and even though he was later released uninjured, it had affected several of the crews.
Yeah, that first 22-mile stage, very, very slippy in the centre section especially, and then just a bit further on, Dougie went off. It could have very well easily been us. We were very fortunate. In fact, we were running behind somebody because we nearly got caught out as well.
Were you on the wrong tyres?
No, I think we made the right call actually. We went out on intermediates, and I think we made the right call. But there was some sections of it was dry and some were very, very slippy.
And what were the locks like afterwards?
Again, very greasy. I think we did fastest time, but not by a lot. I mean, we were fairly gentle through there, to be honest.
Well, we're still hearing rumours of problems for Neil McKinnon with this possible water problem, so you're the man now that's in second. Just keep the pressure on.
Well, that's all I can do at the end of it, yeah. But, you know, it's not the way that you really want to win. I want Neil to win it, you know. At the end of it, he's dominated from the front, and, you know, I hope he gets to the finish. But at the end of it, if he's not there, then we'll pounce.
Well, James, you said caution was the watchword tonight. Other people said attack. It looks like you've been proved right.
Yeah, well, we got 9 miles in there and we've seen a car off. That was Dougie, I think. But it was undrivable, I would have thought. It just got to the stage that you just had to get in a gear and just drive around it. It was just absolute horrendous.
You backed right off, did you?
Yeah, we seen John Cope's lights ahead of us, and we knew that he wasn't pulling away. So I think he knew that we were, the minute was between the two of us. So we kept that minute, and and now I think the stage has been scrubbed. So nobody's gained by it all. I just hope that everybody else is all right,
Okay, been a dramatic start to the final night of this 2007 tonnage tour of Mull, and you were having mechanical problems late this afternoon. Have they been solved?
No, we're still having problems just now. The car's pressurising the water system at the moment. I'm not sure what it is, and we're lucky to come off the long one there tonight. Like, we sort of 3/4 of the way through it started going on to safe mode and cutting out the car, but we got there, and with the delay on the long one, we've managed to get the car cool again. We've filled it with water and we've got it we've done Dervick, the last stage there, so we dropped quite a wee bit of time on that, but we're getting through.
And so to the final top 10. And in 10th, it was the Subaru of Tim Stell and Mike Yates. 9th, and just 28 seconds ahead, the Mitsubishi of John and Jim Rintoul. Happy just to make it to the finish, as the car was smoking badly as they arrived at the stop line. In 8th, it was David Miller and Andrew Bailey in the Subaru.
Smoking away here, but you've managed to make the finish, David.
I didn't think we were going to, but we don't know what's happened here, but we're here. And the fellow behind has not caught us, so I think
Keep moving down with this car.
Yeah, I think we've all late. We better go try to sort this out, sorry.
John Cressy had driven his best ever Mull rally and brought the Mini home with a very respectable result. He was all smiles at the finish line.
That's fine for me, for an old man.
You've been absolutely flying tonight.
No, not really. It's been very slippy. I've had a lot to compete with four-wheel drives, but, that's what it's all about.
The battle for 6th had gone right down to the wire, but in the final 2 stages, it was Willie Bonnywell who had turned the wick up, and he pulled out just enough to take the place from Cressy. 14 seconds, the difference at the finish. In 5th, finishing in style as well, setting 2 final 3rd fastest times, Tristan Pye in the Subaru. And in his current form, you certainly wouldn't discount him from going even better next year. It's been a few years since Daniel Harper has seen the finish of the Tour of Mull Rally. But this year, the Mini had been truly awesome. And on the final 2 stages, he rounded out his event in fine style, taking both stage wins. But he was quite coy at the finish.
Daniel, big race on here towards the finish between you and James.
I think he'll have got it.
You think so?
I don't think either of us were pushing really. So I'm a bit dry.
So you'd take 4th overall?
I'm quite happy with that.
Been a fantastic weekend, yeah?
It has been good, really good, yeah. Well happy with it.
Well, mixed conditions tonight, but apart from that, bone dry.
Oh yeah, it's well, that's rallying though, isn't it?
And that's what makes Mull such a special test.
That's the one.
And so it was James McGilvery who would blast over the final stage. Not quite as fast as Harper, but he had done enough to take a fine 3rd overall.
Absolutely fantastic result if it is a top 3.
Yeah, absolutely delighted with that, so that'll do.
Going into the final stage, McKinnon still held a 3-minute lead over John Cope, but he was still running in safe mode and was definitely hemorrhaging time. It was John Cope who was first into view coming down the hill road.
And right 1:50.
And let's see if we can grab a quick word. Well then, John, we're waiting on Neil, obviously, but it looks, provided he gets through to us here, as if it's bridesmaid once again.
Yeah, looks like it. But I'm not particularly bothered. At the end of the day, Neil's led it right from the start, so you know, he deserves to win.
And that just left Neil McKinnon to almost cruise through the final stage. And despite dropping over 30 seconds, he would take the win by 2 minutes, 21 seconds. It was the morning after when the results were confirmed. And then, all that was left was for the winners to take the champagne.
Eggs Boom tonight at 10. Don't forget, starring Michael Elphick. But next, here on Men and Motors, police, paramedics and firefighters tell their own stories in 999 Frontline.